Let's go. Forfeit never, forfeit never, forfeit never, never forfeit. Forfeit never, forfeit never, forfeit never, never forfeit. Forfeit never, forfeit never, forfeit never, never forfeit.
Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? My name's Hector coming at you once again from Urban Ops Ministries, doing a series of videos just to let you know a little bit more about us, man. There are a few questions that are gonna be coming up on the screen, and I'm gonna try to answer them as best as I can, to the best of my ability. Well, my name is Hector Salcido. Next question. You gotta throw it at me, fool. I was born at UCLA Medical Center, raised in Huntington Park, California. Early teenage years, my brothers were getting into some trouble, and my dad was like, that's it, we're going to the desert, and you guys can go fight and wrestle with tumbleweeds and rocks. So he took us out to Palmdale, California. I was out there for a few years, and now I'm back down here. Man, my childhood was crazy fun. What can I say, man? I lived in a house with 4 brothers. So we broke a lot of windows, doors, lamps, and bones. And yeah, my brothers were bullies. Probably heard Joshua saying about the same thing. But we love our brothers, man. It was rowdy and it was fun. For the most part, my childhood was outside, playing around, man. Salt Lake Park, running on Florence, State Street. So I had a good time, good friends. My teenage years were a trip, man, because it was tough for me. We moved to Palmdale when I was 14, 15. It was tough. It was a tough transition, man. I had friends that I had since I was in kindergarten, my cousins and stuff, and grew up with them. And then all of a sudden you're going to Palmdale, and for me it was a culture shock, man. It was huge difference, so it was a challenge for me. So it's kind of awkward, and being a teenager, had a hard time fitting in when I moved to Palmdale. It was a trip, but eventually I ended up finding some friends, and you know what I mean, you start connecting with cats for different reasons, some good and some bad. And then from there, just one thing escalated to another. I was never, I never joined any gangs or anything like that, but I did get into a little trouble, man. At that time in my years, identity crisis, trying to connect with cats, it just led from one thing to another, man. So whether I just started dabbling in different vices, and I had some difficult years, man, and some difficult challenges. I got saved when I was 22. I had a friend who got saved first. It tripped me out watching him getting saved and hearing him talk. It was a guy that was always getting in fights and had a lot of anger, and a really close friend of mine. And for him to one day driving home from work tell me that he's feeling a peace that he never experienced before. He didn't preach to me, man. He didn't, you know, he wasn't like, he was just being honest, man. And hearing this guy said that he has peace. And here I am, man, struggling with meth and you know, coke and a lot of the party drugs and smoking weed and all that. And I didn't have peace, man. I didn't have peace. So I wrestled with that, man. And I'm glad I had my mom, who was Christian, and you know, she was always, you know, feeding us the word of God and always trying to, like, you know, let us know what's right from wrong. And we knew that, but at that time, that word from that friend who was expressing what he was feeling just echoed within me, man. And after that, I wasn't at peace anymore, man. And I knew that I needed a change. The battles of overcoming, it's a trip, man, because it's one, you got battles for the rest of your life. You're always going to be struggling with things because we're human. And I think it was the drugs that is doing things on a routine level with the same people all the time, and then all of a sudden putting a stop to it. And I remember some nights sitting in my room with my mattress on the wall, man, and on my door, banging my head. And sometimes I said, man, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have got saved on a Thursday night. I should have did it on a Monday. It would have gave me a whole week to muster up some strength. But it was tough. The weekends were tough, man. So overcoming the drugs and being sober, just being sober was tough. And then the friends, man, how do I say goodbye to my friends? At that moment, I needed to separate. And how do I do that to guys that I loved and cared for, that probably didn't understand the decisions that I was making, you know? So, and those were the challenges, man. And then figuring out, where am I in the hands of God? And so that was a challenge. Man, and all those challenges was a trip, because I just wanted to be sober and I wanted to find myself in God, and I wanted just to experience, and I did. I experienced His grace, His mercy, and forgiveness. And I remember the skies were blue and the grass was green, and all of a sudden, you know, and I remember being able to sleep again and have that peace again. And I didn't think God was going to use me ever at where I'm at. I cheated my way through high school. You know, I mean, I wasted some good years and some good brain cells. So I never thought that God was you know, going to use me. And I didn't have no intention. That's not why I came to church. I came really just to find God, and I came to be sober, and then I've experienced God at a whole different level. And His grace and His mercy has been awesome, man. And it's been a long journey, and it's been some tough years, but it's been worth it. And it's been rich, man. It's been awesome. I still trip out to this day what God is doing in my life. Man. Ministering with my brother, I'll tell you what, ministering alone is an awesome experience. It's a humbling experience, and what a privilege it is to minister in the sense of serving, seeing God use you to touch people, uplift people, and encourage people, and help people find their way in Him, right? That's one thing. And then it's another thing when I'm ministering with my brother, man. It's a cool, man. Me and my brothers and all my brothers, I love all my brothers, and we have a good relationship. We're really honest with one another, and I think that's what's dope with working with Josh, is that I have somebody who can honestly check me and keep me accountable. And the beauty of it is I know where he's coming from. I know where his heart's coming from, and even though there's times I may not like what he's saying in the sense of he's challenging me, I know that it's coming from a place of love. And so ministering with my brothers is, man, that's a plus, man. It's been fun, man. He's a real dude. He's an honest dude. His heart is gold, man. So not having to worry about him, but in the sense of I know who I have in the trenches with me. If you don't have that person in your life, be that person in someone else's life. You know what I mean? Someone where they can trust that you're the right guy in the trenches. They could trust your walk, and they could trust your talk. So working with Josh is awesome, man. I love you, bro. It's pretty cool. Man, the challenges in ministry there's a lot of challenges, man. There's challenges that come from the outside. There's challenges that come from within yourself. Staying committed, staying true, right, to your walk, staying true to the call that God is calling us, man, and staying focused on Christ. But I think one of the challenges, honestly, man, I want to be honest, it could be people. It could be people, man, because people sometimes don't have the right motives. And I think some people are still operating out of brokenness and out of hurt, right? And people are still operating in a way that they're still guarded and protecting themselves. And people still have certain jealousies or concerns, right, or insecurities. So I think those are the challenges. But at the same time, like, those are the blessings, right? Working with people. But you can't focus on that. You got to continue to do what God has called you to do. Another challenge I would say is like knowing your role. There's so many people doing so many things in ministry, and man, there's people excelling in so many different ways in ministry. And you look at those ministries, and you're like, that's dope, man. And so I think the challenge is not getting out of your lane, but staying on the path that God's called you to be on. So sometimes, man, we see God moving in certain areas in different places, and you're tempted to jump on that, to be a part of that, because it's exciting, man. But you gotta stay, not out of fear or whatever, but God's gonna take you where He needs to take you, man. But you just gotta stay true to what God's calling you to do. You know what I mean? And so I think the challenge is resisting the temptation to jump on trends. Just do what you gotta do, man. Do what God's called you to do. I don't know. Every year we pray and we ask God, what do you have for this year? You know, what are you doing with us in this year? What do you want to do through us this year? So, and every year has been a different way that God has been ministering, you know, through us and using us and showing us, like, you know, new things, man. And so, but for me in my heart right now, where God's been putting on me, man, I want to invest. I hope Urban Ops could invest in the next generation, just like our pastors have invested in us. The local church has been awesome, man. And I gotta give a shout out to Pastor John and Myrna Brito, who were the first ones to step up and financially support us. Pastor Jack and Lini Miranda, awesome people who also took us in as urban missionaries as well. Man, Mana Ana and Mario Rivera, who just, as young, man, they invested in us. They gave us the opportunity to minister. And I think Pastor Breck and Giselle Ruiz also are some pastors, and on. There's pastors that have really just invested in us, man, encouraged us, and I just want to do the same, man. So I think for Urban Ops in the future, man, we just want to invest time and ideas and whatever we can into the next generation coming up. All in all, I pray that we can stay true to the call of God on our lives, man, and that you guys do the same, man. Once again, Hector Salcido, Urban Ops Ministries, one of two. My other half is out there somewhere in the land of Palmdale, Joshua Salcido. We just want to thank you, man. God bless you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, smoke signals, telegrams, whatever you're using. Hit us up. Peace.